We're going to be talking about the 6 biggest opportunities when it comes to mid and small cap stocks and how I think these could be some of the most explosive names over the next 3 to 6 months. If you have any questions, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's jump into it. Now, the first thing I do want to mention is for the big breakout of small caps, this should be the most important thing that you're watching. This is the IWM or the Russell. And again, you are basically like in a 4 or 5 year box. Okay. So going from into 2020, right here, October, November 2020 till right now, we've sat in this range, believe it or not. In comparison, you look at how SPY has moved. This was your 2021 all-time high. Very important. Look at perfect chart, by the way, might I say. But QQQ, as you can see here as well, they're clearly much and way beyond those previous highs, right? IWM has not. This is one of the biggest metrics for risk on versus risk off. And if you think that small and mid caps have already moved, I think you'd be surprised what will happen when you actually get a breakout. We've gone a lot of detail about the past breakouts, but today I want to go more into some of the stocks that I'm looking at. And first, what I'm going to do is start with an honorable mention, Lyft. Now, Lyft might already be like it's kind of starting. I was talking about this the other day, but Lyft is very interesting, and I think a lot of you guys have questions on this. But anytime you see something like this, and again, I'm on the daily chart, so these are going to be very high time frames. Anytime you see something that's sitting in a range for 3, 2 years, even 1 year, it should be watched. Because when you break out of that range, you typically get good movement. Let me show you an example. PayPal. Now, PayPal is moving like trash right now. But where we had a really great trade was back in 2024. You had this level of $68 and really the break above 71. You eventually broke, you retested, and you proceeded to go from 68 all the way into 90 over the next like month and a half. 2 months, give or take, right? It eventually came back down. Now it's in that range, and I don't want to trade it. But you ever break above 71, I'll trade it back to the upside. But again, this is a great example of understanding. You literally sat here from 2023 all the way into about a year and a half, right, in this range. This goes back into Lyft. Lyft has been in this range even longer. You're breaking out of this over $20, $21. Minimum, you have your gap fill all the way into like $30. Now, I'm not telling you to YOLO. I'm not telling you to go crazy. Even a stock play. If I were to buy stock on Lyft from right here, I could still make upwards of around 40% just getting back into $30. So again, there's a lot of opportunity, makes a lot of sense. And I will say Uber is one of the better looking overall names out there too. Not as much of a small cap, more of a mid cap here, mid to high end name now. Above 97 has room towards like all time highs, 105, 110. Could get crazy price discovery. Okay, that's honorable mention. Those aren't even the top names on the list. But before we go into those names, I want to say right now, if you want to see how we trade, what we trade every single day, the Discord link is down below. So make sure you tap in. You get every morning. This is how we started it. Like let me take you through a day of what you're gonna get in Discord. You're gonna get number one, our rundown and Tyler Zone going over futures. You need to understand how futures move if you want to know how the direction of the market's going to go. Then you get your watch list from Jordan at 8 a.m. sharp, 30 minutes before market open. His top stocks and then futures as well, what he's thinking. Then you get our trade ideas. If we go to any swings, you get exact entries, what we're looking for, targets, etc. Going into technicals, these are scalps, getting in, getting out, quick trades. We have trades posted here. Microsoft is one of the ones Jay mentioned here on the day. I wasn't super aggressive on the day, but again, he was the one that was more aggressive here. But you get a mixture of me and Jay's trades. And again, Jay is an extension of myself. I would say that he could be considered even a better trader than me some days. Like, be totally honest. Like, Jay's very good. I wouldn't have hired someone that isn't good. And he's more conservative though. But he's had some pretty big bangers in the year. Anyways, profits all there for you as well. So check it out. So it's all there for you. The link is down below. And as of right now, we did enable the more affordable plan, the starter plan. You don't get access to voice chat, but it does give you a lot of stuff in there as well. So if you want that, the link is down below. This is only have around 20 spots open, so check it out while you can. You have to get put on a wait list, and then we're only letting 20 people. So just letting you know, that'll be probably taken off pretty soon. And then the regular access for voice chat, everything that's included. But check it out. Now, going into the market, going into what we're looking at, some of the top names. Let's start running down through them. SoFi. Now, SoFi's been one of those names that I've liked for a long time, okay? I think SoFi is a really overall strong name. And what I've said since the beginning, right, and the last time I made a video was like in February, March, and I said $14 and $11 were your buy levels. You end up dipping really quick down to your 200 SMA down here, which is nuts, right? Yeah, you got below for a day, then or 2 days and got back above it, and then that was game on from $12 on, right? But you went nuts. You went from $12 all the way to $30. Now the question is where is this more interesting? Where is this a buying opportunity? That's where I started looking for the value here. And again, when you were moving up, I was getting questions every day. Like it was like nonstop. Like, hey, SoFi, 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 SoFi. And I get it. But I'm not getting a lot of questions as SoFi's dipping, which is the trend, right? This is when people start getting aggressive. We had to start taking advantage of. Okay, so support number 1 is here at 24.8 on SoFi. I'd be looking at that. But I'm going to let you know, if you start buying there, either if you're not buying stock, you're buying options, you want to be very careful. Because if you flip this, you don't have a lot of liquidity until like 22, which is your next support, and then to your 50 MA at $17, $16. And I want people to understand what I always say. If you move up fast, you can move down just as fast, if not faster. So very important. If you get back above $28, I think you go back in all-time highs and go berserk. But SoFi, what I'd be watching there. It's really important to understand, though, one of the biggest catalysts for SoFi in some of these names, the next thing I'm going to go into, actually, mortgage rates are so important. Interest rates are so important. So if we keep cutting, this is in a really good spot. And so, again, that's where your mind is with these. But if you're buying it, I think stock is the move with a lot of these names. And if you're going the options route, you have to be willing to cut and get out of the trade, or you follow your plan or you try to live it out. So you have like a time on your contracts, right? You want to go 1 to 2 years out on these. Again, they're cheaper names, so it doesn't hurt to do that. And you can really make some good money. The next name here, RKT, Rocket Mortgage. Now, you take me back to when I was talking about Zillow and Open Door way back when, if you guys remember. And I said that the biggest winners, in my opinion, would be Rocket Mortgage, Zillow, Redfin, which I think got bought or whatever, and then Zillow, right? And Open Door is one of the ones I said. Open Door is a riskier name, but I still liked it, okay? Nevertheless, all those names have been crushing really since May, okay? They're doing very well. So Rocket's back up. Now, Rocket, I would like to watch a few of these little spots right here. And I would even move, I'd be willing to move this into like a little bit of a support zone right about here. This is where I would like to buy Rocket Mortgage, around 17.5 to 18.2. That's where your opportunity is. If you come down to 14.15, I think it's also fine. I think we haven't really begun to even see the move that's going to play out with some of these real estate stocks yet and things that revolve around mortgage, etc. I think they're going to, if they dip, they're going to dip a lot less aggressively. Personal opinion out there. And again, what I'd be watching, right? And what I will say, watch the yields, the 30-year, the 10-year. You want to be watching these. Mortgage News Daily is what I use. Mortgage News Daily, right? Come over here, go down to the 30-year. You can actually chart the mortgage rates, how they're moving, right? You want to be tracking this close. We get below 6% on the mortgage rates, we're in a really good spot. I'm going to let you know that also. Okay, guys, I forgot to do one other sponsorship as well. I always forget. And I just want to let you know, these are just how like the channel is supported. So I do appreciate you guys that do use the links. And these are all companies that I use. So I only like use sponsors of products that I'm using. So again, Tradeify, they've really become my bread and butter for futures trading. If you want to check them out, use code JEFE. The link is down below for the best discount. I think today's the last day for their 40% discount. I use their project decks. You can use Tradeivate, but the growth accounts where you have to do the eval, these are straight to funded. But if you want to do the eval, they're dirt cheap, right? There's no activation fee. Check it out while you can. Link is down below. Check it out. Now, going into the more names, okay? Make sure we understand that. I'm trying to run through these. I don't want to have a 50-minute video. So again, I'm trying to run through these names as quick as possible. Kava. I feel like Kava, if you guys remember, we talked a lot about Kava. I was really big on Kava on the TikTok account. But Kava's, I mean, this is the first big opportunity you've got. Now, one thing I'll add in about Kava is let me make sure. Yeah, the 200 SMA. You're well below your 200 SMA. So right now, you're buying with the mentality of like, this is really undervalued. You think it's going to get an immediate bounce. You're buying a knife. Okay. So I'm getting pretty aggressive here with Kava stock, but why do I like it? It's retesting its IPO highs basically. So your IPO was here. You moved kind of straight up for like 2 weeks and then you crashed down. And then once you broke and mounted this level here, you literally ran from $57 into 97, dipped, and then you ran towards 150, which is crazy. That's just nuts. Massive support here. I think you can at least get back into 70, maybe even a 200 SMA retest. But I think it's just a good opportunity here. You can go go to 2027 January contracts, and they're very affordable also. So again, Kava, great looking name. I like it a lot. If you dip down below, next level is like 48, 47. But I still think as a hold, it's a good name. Okay. Next one, HIMS. You guys know this is like one of my favorites in IWM. It's a monster. Now you're still making these like lower high trend here. I would prefer to see you get a dip to buy. I'm not buying up this high. I'll tell you that right now. Dip buy into 51 to 50, possibly into 48, possibly into 43. I think no matter what, you can't go wrong buying HIMS. I think it's going to thrive long term. But these are my buy levels that I would have marked out that I'd be watching, right? So again, buying. Those are your big levels you have to watch. I wouldn't want to buy at 56 to 60. I would have to let it play out. I'd have to miss out on the opportunity. But I think where these levels are, it's a good buy. I think I'll make money long term, and I think I'm in a really good position, right? Also, dude, like, do you guys want to see more of these like mid cap videos? Like, let me know in the comments. Like, I'm trying to, obviously, if you've been like paid attention to the channel, branch out a little bit, give you guys more content, answer more questions, go over more stocks. I'm not just the daily rundowns. Obviously, I'll always do like daily rundown type stuff because that's like that's like the passion. Like, I just do it every day. I love doing it. So, anyways, but next up, covered Kava. Next up, GameStop. This is crazy. Like, I'm either going to get hate or people are going to go crazy on this one. I don't really care. Again, what I always say, though, and this should even go to show, I don't discriminate. If I think something has potential to make money, I like making money. Like, I don't know about you guys. I like making money. I don't care if it's risky. I mean, I prefer less risk. I like the reward to make sense. But, yeah. So, number one. And I've said it all the time. I have the 200 daily moving average marked out right here already. Way back here. You rejected it here. You dropped down. You got above it here. You shot up. You got below it here. You shot down. You got above it here. You literally mounted and went from $25 into $35. It was crazy. Like, nuts. Right? That being said, the 200 SMA is important. Well, guess what? You just mounted the 200 SMA. You have a gap fill into like 28.5. I think you have another gap right here as well into like $30. I think GameStop's in a really good spot. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think it's in a really awesome spot. You want to know something that's really interesting? And again, people don't like to talk about it. People really don't. Look, I'm not saying it's because this happened why GameStop exploded. It was a short squeeze, 100%. I actually think GameStop as a company is in a really good spot right now with what they're doing. I'm going to be totally honest. They have totally pivoted in the right direction. I can make a video on that one day. I'm not going to do that right now. But you know what happened back here in December of 2020? To December 20 or in early 2021, I'm going to show you. IWM happened. Again, no one wants to talk about it. Nobody. This is what happened right here. November 2020 into January, February, March 2021. You went up in a straight line. A straight line, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why the charts are coming out like this, but it's pissing me off. But guys, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But that's when these names get crazy, when IWM has a breakout. Because again, IWM does not break out every year. You need to understand it's a way, it's risk on, risk off. Very big metric there, right? The last time you broke out, this is 2013 you broke out. Before that, 2020. I'm just letting you guys know. This doesn't happen often. And you haven't broke out yet. You still have to get above the level. But I want it to be clear. Just saying, okay? Just letting everyone know. GME looks crazy. Again, could be right, could be wrong, whatever. One of the last names out here. Is this the last name? Last name. I can't believe we've already gone through them all. Look at that. You're going to get out of here a little bit early. SMCI. Now, SMCI is at a break point. I'm going to tell you right now, it's at a really big spot. SMCI mounts $48. You don't have really much. You can see every time we've gotten above $48, $49, you've shot up into like $60. Like clockwork. I like it a lot where it's at. Again, they had the blunder last year. They seem to have figured it out. Well, I mean, again, like I said, guys, these aren't names I'm going to like long-term hold on to forever, and I think I'm going to bet my life savings on. Not what I'm saying. I'm saying what are some of the biggest opportunities in IWM that I think are out there and that I like. These are them. Some of them I like longer term, some of them shorter term, some of them you got to know what the reward potential is, the risk associated with it. But these are the 6 ones that I'm going to put up there on my list right now. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll have more videos coming out tomorrow. But again, these are the names I'm watching. I also want to say right now, guys, if you don't follow on Twitter, make sure you're following on. Guys, I know I have a paid Discord. It is what it is, okay? I try to make as much free content as possible. You can never say that I don't try to make as much content for you out there. First of all, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Central. We are starting the live streams back up, okay? We're starting them back up. Committed to it. We're doing it. We're starting them back up, okay? So every morning, more free content for you. Pre-market rundowns are coming back if you're a day trader, okay? Or on your way to work. Put me in your ear. Put me in, coach. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Discord. We're posting stock plays, setups, etc. You gotta just pay attention. Then obviously here on YouTube, on TikTok, I'm making videos nonstop every day. So if you have any questions, comment down below. Take advantage, lock in, guys. And if it makes you feel better, if you're in college, if you're a single dad or something, dude, I was where you were almost when we started the channel. I want to make that really clear. When I started this channel, I was a single dad, right? I literally started the channel, I think, when I was like 2021, right? Single dad, trying to graduate college at University of Houston in finance, right? Working 2 to 3 jobs, literally. And then I was making 3 to 4 videos on YouTube a day, grinding it out. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, nobody really is going to like say it to you, but nobody cares about your excuses, why you can't do it, why it's hard, why life is this and that. No one cares, right? I'm just telling you from my personal experience. Nobody cared. I'm just going to tell you right now. And you know who's really not going to care, or who's going to actually care that you started putting in the work, the effort, is when you get here 5, 6 years later, because that's really how long it's been, when it's crazy to really think about. Actually, it's like 5 years. Yeah, it's like 5 years since we had the channel, right? 2020. Okay? 5 years later, you know who really cares? The wife that we have now, the kid, the second kid we just had now, my son who's like 7, 8 years old, and guess what? Now every day he gets a lock in. We're chilling every single. I get to spend every single day I have my son with him. I'm with him. I'm not at work. I'm not doing nothing else. I might work from my computer for a little bit, but I get to spend every second with him. And I think that's what people have to really think about. Again, I know we're going off on a rabbit trail, but people want to make excuses. They want to get rich quick. That's not the reality at all. That is not the reality. Life is a grind. When you grind, it usually pays off. Okay? It's that simple. Lock in, grind, because no one else is going to do it for you, especially if you're a man. That's just what you got to do. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. See you tomorrow.